By Odin's beard you shall not cut my hair, lest you feel the wrath of mighty Thor. Please, kind sir, please do not cut my hair, please. No! Huh. Actually, not bad. Hey everyone, and welcome to July's TBR Assemble. If you don't know what TBR Assemble is, I'll leave a link up above to my original video where I explain all of the rules and everything, but it's essentially my Avengers based TBR game. So with that, let's get into the roll. Today I'm going to be using two separate Lego pieces. I've got Thor and then also Mighty Thor, aka Jane Foster, because both of these characters are going to be in Thor Love and Thunder, and Thor Love and Thunder is out this month. What I'm going to be doing is swapping them out in between each and every roll, because that seems like the easiest way to go about it. But we're going to start with Thor, and we're going to go roll number 1 is a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red retellings. Then I'm going to go right in the middle here, and that is Thor, a myth-based book. Could not have started better there. My first prompt was Thor, which means to read a myth-based book, and I'm just going to lift up the stack because this month Thor Love and Thunder comes out, which means I'm going to be reading the entire Jason Aaron Thor run, which is massive. It's 22 volumes long. I'm not holding all of them because I've got a few of them on Kindle because I've got War of the Realms and it goes into War of the Realms and all the rest of it, and some of them I just couldn't get hold of, but essentially this is the stack. And basically Thor by Jason Aaron is the story of Love and Thunder, in the sense that Thor has become unworthy and then suddenly a female character has suddenly become Thor, and we don't know who it is for a very long time, and then it is revealed to be Jane Foster, who is also dying from cancer as well, and it's all about that kind of thing. So I'm literally going from the start of this all the way through into Jane Foster, Valkyrie, through into War of the Realms as well, and I'm excited, a little bit nervous because there's a lot here. It actually hurts to hold up, and this is also including Original Sin, I should say as well, because that's in the middle of it. It's basically the entire saga. I'm biting off more than I can chew here, but great start. This huge stack. Roll number 2 is a 1, so over 1, that is blue, which is sci-fi. So I'm gonna go over here, which is T'Challa, a diverse author. My second prompt was T'Challa, which is to read a diverse author, specifically a fantasy, so I've gone for The Ivory Key, and this book was very, very kindly gifted to me by Abby from Abby of Pelennor, so thank you very much, Abby, for gifting this to me. And this one, it just says 4 siblings, a country in ruin, one quest to save them all. That's all I really know, that's all I really want to know. I've just heard amazing things about it and I cannot wait to read it, and also that shade of green sort of matches my hair. I didn't realise that until now, but I'm here for that. Roll number 3 is another 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is purple, which is fantasy. Let's go this way, I think, and that is Mobius. Free choice. My next prompt was Mobius, which is a free choice, a fantasy book, so I'm going to be going for The Double Trouble Society by Carrie Hope Fletcher. This is coming out in the month of July, and all I really know is that it's a middle grade with magic. I think I read the synopsis when it was first announced, but I didn't retain that knowledge. I never retain knowledge of like synopsises anyway, but especially with like a Carrie Hope Fletcher book or any Fletcher book or anything like this, I just sort of go, well, it's them, I'm going to pre-order it, and then I promptly forget what it's about until it arrives. So I just know that it's a middle grade fantasy. I don't really know much else. I just know that I'm very excited to read it, and it also comes out on the 7th of July, which is the same day Thor comes out, so I'm going to have to get through that stack first before I go into it, but my priorities are going to get tested this month in terms of reading. That's all I've got. My priorities are about to get tested. Roll number 4 is a 3, so 1, 2, 3, that is blue sci-fi again, so go for this one here, which is Nick Fury, Discworld. Yes! Editing Becca quickly jumping in here to quickly say that the book I chose was not actually a Discworld book. It was called The Dark Side of the Sun or The Dark Side of the Moon, and it is a Terry Pratchett sci-fi book, but it is not actually part of the Discworld. So I've swapped it out and I'm going for Terry Pratchett's book Pyramids instead, which is actually a Discworld novel. Roll number 5 is a 3, so 1, 2, 3. That is more fantasy. Actually, no, that's fantasy. Ignore me. I'm forgetting what I'm doing. I'm gonna go. Thinking. No, actually, I'm gonna go for this one because that's where my hand was. Rhodey, continue a series. My next prompt was Rhodey, which is to continue a series, so I'm going to be reading Redemptor, which is the sequel to Raybearer. I read this book earlier in the year and absolutely loved it. You've got like these like royal family type thing who are all connected with each other. There was a lot of twists and turns. The world was amazing. The writing was incredible. I can't really tell you much else because that would be spoilers, but I am so excited to read this book. I cannot wait to finish this duology. It was amazing. And then our final roll is a 1. So, 1. If I don't drop half of the cards in the meantime, I'm gonna... That wasn't a very good fan. There we go. This one, Deadpool, a non-Marvel comic. And then my final prompt was Deadpool, which is to read a non-Marvel comic, so I'm going for Bitter Root. This is set in 1920s Harlem about a family of monster hunters. I have heard so many good things about this. I know Regina King is now actually adapting this into a film, which sounds amazing, so I would usually leave it until then, but I really want to read it now, so I'm going to be reading a Bitter Root as well, and I am so excited. I'm just here for like monster stories and monster hunter stories, and I cannot wait to sink my teeth into this one. And naturally that's not the end of the TBR because again, I can't help myself, and there's also 2 books on pre-order that I've got that also come out on the 7th of July alongside the Double Trouble Society, and this is what I mean when I say that there's going to be a bit of loyalty testing here because Thor Love and Thunder comes out on July 7th. I've got all of my Thor comics to read on by July 7th or around July 7th. I've also got the Double Trouble Society. I also then have The Whale Watchers by Ducky Pointer. I don't really know what this one's about, I just know that Ducky Pointer's written it, so I don't really care further than that. He's a member of McFly. I'm a massive McFly fan, if you couldn't tell by the 5 colours in my hair, and my general content and stuff like this. So I want to read that as well. I've got it on pre-order, and then I've also got Armageddon Out of Here 2, which is the sequel / new edition of Armageddon Out of Here, which is basically a short story collection based in the world of Skullduggery Pleasant by Derek Landy. And we all know that Skullduggery ended recently. The Dead Famous read-along ended recently. I am sad about it. I don't know what to do in my life. I have a hole missing in my life which only Skullduggery can fill. So now that the anthology is coming out, I'm very excited. I know that most of it is going to be similar stories to, or the same stories we had in the first edition, but there are 6 new short stories as well that haven't been published anywhere else, and that's the bit I'm most excited for because I am desperate for new Skullduggery content. I'm just excited to read it again. I'm just so excited to read it and like read all these short stories again and discover new things about the Skullduggery world and just generally spend more time with Skullduggery, essentially. And then the final thing I have is Hall of Smoke by H.M. Long. This is a Viking-inspired world, which is what I mentioned earlier, and you've got things like the battle-hardened priestess of the goddess of war, and things like this. I don't really know much else, I just know that the cover's pretty, and I have actually been saving this one as well for when Thor comes out, so that's also going to be on my list as well, so I can read this around the time Thor comes out, I feel like I'm having a very Viking related month, and I can't say I'm mad about it. And also, actually, before I forget, I should also mention I will be continuing on with reading Miss Marvel comics. At this point I will be going on to the Saladin Ahmed stuff and also the Champions, because they're the two things I have left at the moment. So very excited for that. I've been loving reading Miss Marvel so far, so I cannot wait to continue reading her stuff. And that is actually the end of my TBR, which means that the stack is looking like this. I'm actually having to rest this on my knee now because it's so heavy. And I mean, there's a few books missing in here because some of them haven't been released yet and some of them I just physically do not own because I couldn't get a copy of them anywhere, or I just decided to read them online for some stupid reason. So this is all of it. It looks quite a lot, but considering most of this is comics and kids books, I should be able to get through it reasonably quickly. So I mean, I'm not too mad about it. I'm slightly intimidated by the amount of comics, but I only have myself to blame, and I always plan to do this, so I've only got myself to blame, and I can't really say anything else to that, but I should be able to do it. Should be the operative word, but we'll see. I've got a good feeling about it. But that is now the end of my July TBR, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me which book I should start with, I'd love to know. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me a hammer related emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link down below to all my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, which is going to have a ton of stuff on Miss Marvel, Thor, Jane Foster, all the rest of it in the coming weeks if you are interested in that. I'll also leave a link as well down below to my Etsy and Redbubble store, which sells bookish merch and bookish bullet journal stuff if you are interested in that. Or if you just want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time everyone, bye!